Today we are going to be discussing why I get rid of my Neptune Apex controller and what options I'm going to take in the future. To start off, we're going to be discussing why I'm getting rid of my Neptune Apex controller. To start this conversation, we have to go back a whole year ago to February of last year when I originally got my 180 gallon. I got my 180 gallon delivered in February to my apartment here, and everything was going smooth. I actually had an ATI T5 bulb set up that I switched off of, wasn't working for me. And after I sold that, had a little more money, and I picked up a Neptune Apex controller. Now, they retail for, I believe, $739.99. So, you know, they're pretty expensive, and you expect something with high quality from that. And for the most part, it is a decent product. The build's really nice. The brain works really well. It's easy-ish to set up. I have a little more programming knowledge, so it wasn't a huge setback for me to get it all set up. But to get it actually configured, it probably takes about a week's time to get everything set in stone what you like. And right from the start, I was having trouble. My original Apex I had would like power off. It would completely trip and do what it was supposed to do if there was a overage of power. Now the current Apex model, the Wi-Fi model, I believe can hold 13.1 amps before it trips. It's either that or 10.1. I'm not exactly sure which one it is. Either way, the only reason I'm explaining the story is because it came up with customer support. So anyway, back to the story. Originally, it was tripping. The Apex would run for different times in the day, and at different times it would trip off. And it wouldn't give me a notification because there's a program on it called Heartbeat, and if it goes off within 24 hours due to being unplugged or different things, Wi-Fi trouble, which I don't have, if any of those interact with it, it won't let you set the heartbeat up, so it will not give you notification if there's no power or if there's no heartbeat. So this causes a problem. Apex is shutting off 32 times a day, the heartbeat application is telling me, so obviously this is an issue. So I contact customer support asking for help. First, you can't even call the support line. You have to get a ticket number. Now I understand, smaller company, smaller support staff, perfectly fine. Totally understand, was very respectful on the phone. So I originally called, told him, this is the backbone of my fish tank. This is what's keeping my heaters aligned and my power head's on and my lights on a cycle. So it's kind of important to me. And I didn't have this trouble with the $20 extension cord from Home Depot I was using prior. So, $20, $740, that's a pretty big difference. So I contacted them and I, explained my situation, said what the heartbeat was showing me and how that was going. And I was having a lot of issues with them, not getting very good responses from customer support. So after about a day or so of trying to, encourage them to respond to me quickly, I finally got a ticket number and somebody helped me out. And we went through the steps, and I already mentioned that I went through the troubleshooting steps on their thing. Checked the amperage overage rating. I think highest amp draw was around 6.8. So even if it is 10, I'm 3 under. And if it's 12 or 13 like I stated, I'm way under. So we went through that. Nothing was tripping. No rust. They were saying look into the outlets, check for any rust. That shouldn't be a problem. It could be a bad board. It could be a bad circuit breaker. So then the worst thing ever happens. They tell me to send it in. And you might be thinking, how's that the worst thing ever? Well, it was the longest I've ever waited for customer support help. I opened a ticket, and till I received it back, it was 21 days. Now, mind you, I have a calcium reactor, I have my Apex, I have my lights, my power heads, my heaters. I think I was even running GFO at the time, so I had a, media reactor, which isn't a big deal. I can run off the wall outlet, but, still have a lot of stuff. So in the meantime, the Home Depot $20 power strip runs perfectly, flawlessly, doesn't overheat, doesn't shut off, doesn't melt, doesn't corrode, and doesn't power spike. So everything ran perfectly without it. So the customer support staff member, don't remember his name, not important anyway. He tells me, okay, we will send you a RMA. So he sends me the RMA, I box it up, I send it back. Wait 4 or 5 days to hear anything. I said, what's going on? Why is this doing this? And they said, we're looking at it. We have our diagnostics team checking it over. Okay, fine. You know, the Home Depot extension cord is still rocking and rolling. We're still working good. Nothing's failing in the tank, even though the calcium reactor's having a hard time. Hard time keeping up on its own. So about a week goes past. They finally tell me, yep, something was wrong. We couldn't determine what the exact problem is, which probably was BS. You know, they just didn't want to deal with me harassing them, emailing them saying, why is my $750 product, almost $800 with tax, not working? So he finally says, we're putting a new board in. We're happy to help you, you know. No charge within a year, well within a year, considering a year is, excuse me, recently. And so he says, okay, we're going to send it back. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Mind you, now we're at like day 12, 13, you know, the weekend. So they're unable to ship over the weekend. They're, you know, unable to get it there. And it also took about 5 days to get there. So their RMA label is obviously the cheapest and slowest option, which is honestly one of the most frustrating parts, but okay. So about 5 days to get there, about 5 days in diagnostics area. I'd say 2 days on each end of limbo, so we're at about 17 or 18 days. He says, we're going to send it back. Okay, great, I'm excited. Can't wait to get it back. Same thing with the RMA, same thing with the return label. He sends it back. It is sent to the wrong address. So now I'm incredibly frustrated. We're on day 20. It's not at the right area. It's not really fixed. And nobody's really honestly caring how I feel about this product. So I get over that. I finally get it back. Email them, say, I'm sorry, I was frustrated, you know, didn't swear, didn't berate them, other than, you know, where's my product? Where's my product? What's going on with it? I want to know what the problem is, in case I did anything. And I made sure, because I know how these companies are, I made sure to document, and I took pictures of each outlet. There was no rust, there was no corrosion, and I even had it in a special box so it could not get wet unless I pour water in the box. So he says, nope, no corrosion, nothing like that. We can't say what's wrong with it. We fixed the main board, replaced the whole board. So I figured, okay, the only thing I'm getting back that was mine is the shell, you know, and the main head unit. There's a power bar and a head unit, and the head unit was nothing wrong with it. I don't even think they probably even opened it. But the main board, so we got a new main board. Great. Open it up, get it set up. Right away, it's tripping again. I sent him an email the first day, and I say, you know, everything's working great, I'm excited. And after I send the email, about a couple hours later, I'm sitting watching TV, and I hear, you know, all my return pumps are siphoning back. So I'm like, this is really screwed up. So I email back, and I tell them I'm not doing the 21-day game again. You know, that's ridiculous. I'll find something else to do with it. So I'm in a rut now, because I either try to fix what the problem is, after being told there's no problem, it's something I'm doing. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't know anybody else in the forums that's having this problem. It must be something I have. So I'm unplugging different things, seeing if it's tripping. That was their next step. Unplug different things, see if they trip, see if they're overdrawing power. I think the max it got it to was 8.5 at max. I have two 300-watt heaters that at the time were running. You know, so obviously I'm very frustrated. So it stops for a while. I actually don't have the issue the whole rest of the time I have the 180. So I'm thinking it's good. Happens very rarely, once or twice throughout, and it could be attributed to running the vacuum. You know, I don't know, maybe it's crappy outlets in my apartment, who knows. Doesn't matter, but it should be rock solid. It should be steady. Well, we come up to my 250. Now we're back up to speed. Get it all set up, and I'm excited with it, and it's tripping again. So, contacted him one last time. I said, I would like to have this fixed, possibly. It's still within the 1 year. Still. 1 year is like April, maybe even May. Actually, I believe it's May. So we're still way within the 1 year, and they tell me the same thing. It's going to have to come back, and this time I'll have to pay shipping. So that's the end of the life cycle of my Apex. Can't trust its reliability. It's not broken. Worked for months. So sold it off. And I will be building my own version of an Apex. The only things I really use in the Apex are the temperature control, and it's nice to see graphs of my pH, my salinity, but you know, for $750 I could get a lot of other cool stuff, get some more coral, get some more fish, get some more equipment, some stuff that's more reliable. I just had a lot of reliability trouble. So we're going to head over to my computer and I'm actually going to show you what my next setup will be. Okay, so here we are. This is the product that I will be buying, the Casa Smart Wi-Fi Power Strip for $79.97. That is a tenth of what I paid for my Apex. Now, one noticeable difference, it does only have 6 plug outlets, which is fine. We're just going to get this to start. I don't have a calcium reactor, I don't have a bunch of things running, and my lights will be running off of one outlet, so not a problem. Now, the cool thing about this is I can still do power monitoring from anywhere. I can actually, you know, log in and check what's going on with my power. And they also can control things on and off. So I still have that functionality. And I'm also going to be ordering 2 new Eheim True Temp heaters. And they're pretty rock solid. I'm not too worried about them. And they're about $35 a piece. So all in all, it'll probably be about $300. I will be missing the ability to do salinity and pH. I'm looking into possibly getting the Hanacheck or pH probe. And I think that will work. I think it's like $30. So easy, cheap. And I have a refractometer. So honestly, in the end, you know, I wish I could have stuck with Neptune, but I was disappointed. I really was disappointed. I was hoping for something better, and they kind of left me stranded. So if you have any bad or good reviews with the Apex, let me know, and if there's anything you did to fix it, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video today, please give me a like and a subscribe, and leave a comment down below on your experience with any Neptune Apex products.